So on Thursday, what we started, you see there, if you go to your Google Classroom, got Econ Day 1, and then I updated the title, Econ Day 1 and Day 2. So go there and find that for me. And then pull this back up, and let's go over this as a review because it's been 3 days. All right. And the first thing that you did was I just asked you a silly warm-up question. Remember, this is a new course. This is a new course. It's not a new topic. It's a completely new course. You're not in government anymore. You're not in civics. You're in the econ part. Okay. And so I asked you what you wanted for your birthday, and then we talked about what it did. What's the difference between a want and a need? Okay. The next slide. What is economics? You should have something typed there like the study of how people make decisions in a world of limited resources. And then question 2, why does it exist? You should have something like it exists because our wants and our needs are greater than our resources. And then we got into a little bit about what are resources. All right, what are some of those resources out there? Obviously, money is a resource. Time, I harped on time a lot with you, and I see that it did not sink in for second period. Zoom student. There's only 2 of you here today, but maybe they're going to go back and watch it. We're going to incorporate that in the lecture today. So money, time, but there are other reasons like love. Love is a resource. We want love, right? We need love. We want to give it and we want to receive it. And then, obviously food, water, shelter, right? So because of our wants and our needs are greater than the resources, we have to make decisions because of this thing in number 3, which is scarcity. Scarcity is the lack of resources to obtain all of all of people's wants and needs. So how do you limit scarcity? All of us experience scarcity, right? Aubriana and Genesis and Sally and Yutzi, Heidi, like all of us experience scarcity. But the key to economics and why we study economics is we want to limit that scarcity. We don't want to have a big love gap. We do not want to have a big time gap. We don't want to have not enough money. So this is why we study economics. And how do you make decisions in a world of limited resources? Make good decisions. So, and then we talked about what the word decision was in your life. And here we took some notes on this, and that's where we're going to start right here. Okay. So here's our in-class example. So this is the new stuff. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. The new stuff, economic decision-making model. I was talking to you about there's a lot of different types of decision-making models out there. This is the one that I like. It's like sort of right there in between. So what we're going to do as a whole class, we're all going to have the same one. And if you're watching late on Zoom, you'll have the same one as us as well, okay? So we're going to, the first step in any decision is to define the decision. What is the decision? What is the choice? What is the problem? All right, so here, what we're gonna say is something that we all experience every single morning, Monday through Friday, and that is get up and go to school or attend on, let's not do that or, let's take the or out. Let's take the or out. School/Zoom, question mark. So every single morning you have a decision, right? Am I gonna wake up at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock and come to school or come to the Zoom? The next part is list options, right? So what are our options? Obviously, for the sake of like speed, if we were all here, I would make you guys come up to the board and like, do this. But for the sake of speed, and since Genesis, Aubriana, you're out there, I'll just, all right. So option 1 is sleep in, skip school. Sleep in, skip school. Option 2 could be sleep in, miss first period, come to the rest, or go to the rest. Option 3, wake up, go to all 4. Now, remember how Thursday I told you there could be less options or more options? Like I'm making us do 3, but you could actually have a 4th option here, right? Some of you guys do this occasionally, like if you have an appointment or things like that. You sleep in, you skip, but then you go back and watch the Zoom later, right? But that could be like 4th option. But let's just leave that off for simplicity. But just understand that we know that that's out there. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to state the criteria. Remember, this is one of the most important parts. Remember on Thursday, I was telling you, I was sounding like your parents will say, you got to get your priorities straight. This is that section, okay, of the decision-making model. Now, your parents are on the right track with at least pointing out this one, but we got to have the rest, right? Okay. All right. So, because if you don't have the rest, you could still have your priorities straight, but not evaluate the right way, and then you'll still get your decision wrong. Okay. All right. So, what are our priorities? Again, you got to be honest. Okay. You can't lie. Because if you lie to yourself, then you're going to get a bad decision no matter what. All right. So priorities, again, I would make you guys tell me the priorities, but in sake of time and speed and lecture time here, let me go ahead and just give them to you. Okay. Right. I'm sure one of your priorities as high school students is graduate on time. We'll add on time there today. Graduate. Another priority I'm sure you have. You guys are in honors classes. Good grades. But then after that, what's another priority? Well, another priority, and your box might have to get a little bigger, you could pull it, however. Another priority is definitely still going to be sleep, right? I told you to be honest with yourself. All right. Sleep is definitely a priority, a criteria that we want to list. And I know that every single morning we go, man, I wish I had more sleep, right? Yeah, I could roll over. I could. Okay. But then now, let's sort of, hey, Jordan, thanks for coming in. We're finishing. We're going back, and I did a review, and now we're going in. Go to that slide and this is the class example. Okay, the whole class example, and then I'm going to let you go do your own. Okay, all right. So sleep, and then, well, after that, hey, Elizabeth, if you're watching this, don't let your friends down. Don't let friends down. Maybe you promised each other that you were going to come to class on Monday. Heidi, would you like to say anything?
I was tired.
Heidi said she was tired and she's here on a Monday morning. All right, so let's just keep those 4 criteria, okay? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate our criteria with regards to our options. So we're going to look at option 1, 2, and 3. This is option 1, this is option 2, this is option 3. And we're going to look at them and we're going to evaluate these options based on our criteria. Not something else, okay, but based on those 4 things that you wrote down there. Okay, because now, obviously, I told you that those were the 4 important things, but, all right. Okay, so option 1, sleep in, skip school. So we got number 1 right here. So we can go like option 1. And here's how this is simple. Okay, it's a plus minus or plus delta. So option 1, sleep in, skip school. Graduate on time. Now, some of you out there have got to think, What do you have first period? Do you have like that fourth PE that you don't really need? Do you have that, cooking class you don't really need? Or do you have like something like this, like an English 4 or a civics that you have to 100% have to graduate? Okay. So for the sake of these purposes, I'm just going to put a plus because in my first period is civics. Okay. So you have to have that to graduate in first period. So you sleep in and skip school. Actually, I'm sorry. If you skip all day, you have courses out there that you have to have. So this is going to be a negative. Sorry. Sleep in, skip school, graduate on time, definitely going to be a negative. B, good grades. Definitely going to be a negative. C, this one right here, C, sleep. Yes, you're going to get that in option 1. So that's definitely something you're going to get. D, don't let your friends down, Elizabeth. Negative. All right. Option 2. So look at option 2 up here. Sleep in, miss first period, come to the rest. That's where I got to put a question mark because I don't know what you have. But you guys, you know what you have. So if you have something you have to have for graduation, you're going to put graduate on time. If it's a required course, you're going to put negative. If it's an elective, you can still put positive because you can sleep in and skip first period and still graduate on time, okay? But look at the second B option. For option 2, sleep in, miss first period, come to the rest. B, good grades. Well, you're not in first period. C, sleep. Yes. And then D, don't let your friends down. Okay. And that's going to be a negative. And then option 3. Option 3, wake up, go to all 4. We're going to get in A, criteria A, graduate on time. Yes. Good grades. Option criteria B. Yes. Sleep, negative. And then don't let your friends down. Come all the time. And that's going to be a positive because you would be here sitting with Heidi. Okay. So now what we do is now that we've evaluated our eval here, using our criteria with our options, we can see 3 negatives plus a positive. This one is out. Okay. That's your worst option. That is your worst option. Don't do that. You're like, I do that. I did that first 9 weeks a little bit. Option 2, sleep in, miss first period. All right, you got maybe maybe you have 2 positives there and 2 negatives, right? Okay, so it's 2 to 2. But over here in option 3, you have 3 positives, 1 negative. And this is the really big point that I want to make to you guys. 90% of people in life can eliminate option 1 without doing this. Okay, you eliminate it. It's obvious. However, this is where people mess up. They're down to 2 things, and it could be a really close decision. Look at that. Option 2 and option 3 is only 1 plus difference, right? But that 1 plus compounded over all the decisions you make every single day, if you're missing out on that extra plus every single decision, then guess what's going to happen to your scarcity? It's going to increase. And you don't want your scarcity to increase. So yes, it's only, you go, Mr. Gonzalez, it is only a 1 plus difference. Yeah, but think about how many decisions you make every day. You make thousands of decisions every day. So if you screw up and miss out on that extra plus 1,000 times, that's 1,000 pluses, not just 1 plus. All right. And that's where you have people that you might have even in your life or around you, or you see in society, and you go, wow, they are really struggling with life. And it's not because they're struggling with life, it's because of they're struggling with how to make decisions on a world of limited resources. The best decision. We all have scarcity issues, But to compound those scarcity issues, then you get a snowball effect. Okay, get off my ladder, my soapbox about that. So obviously, we're going to make a decision right here, number 5. We're going to say option 5. Oh, sorry. Option 5. We're going to say option 3. Wake up and go to all 4. That's the best decision by one plus, right? However, you are going to give up the opportunity. You are going to give up the opportunity to do something. So when you make decisions, even if it's the best decision, you're still going to give up the opportunity to do something. And that's called opportunity cost. Your opportunity cost is the cost of the next best decision. So your next best decision was right here. All right. So that is going to go here. So your opportunity, you gave up the opportunity to experience option number 2. And option number 2 is sleep in and then go to your rest. So you gave up the experience to sleep in because you chose the best option, which was 3. So that's your opportunity cost. Okay. Opportunity cost is the next best option on the board. Not the third, not this one. We know that that's not, you're not losing the opportunity. I mean, you are, but that's not the next best one. All right. So now this is what I want you to do. I want you to go and take your time. I'll leave the Zoom open if you need to pop back in, but I want you to go and create your own in that last slide. So when you go to that last slide, it'll say, you see how it says student example? Obviously, don't use this one. Create your own. Students in the past, to give you some ideas on what ones you might want to do. Should I get a new job? All right. Students in the past have done like really serious ones. Like, you know, like I told you, this is the one that I used to my wife and I for the house and the 3rd baby. So where to go to school, what to do after graduation. Should I break up with him or her? Like, you know, whatever you want. Or, I mean, if you're too stressed out and you just want to do something silly, like, you know, what to watch on TV tonight, go for it. All right. But I'll leave the Zoom open. If you need me, let me know. If not, you guys are great. Thanks for showing up, and I will see you tomorrow.